Welcome once again to our commerce classroom. This is the first part of our process costing. In this session, we will discuss about the meaning of process costing, features of process costing, then process cost account, including adjustment of normal process loss, abnormal process loss and abnormal process gain. We begin with the discussion of meaning of process costing. We know process costing is employed in concerns where manufacturing operation is divided into different well-defined processes. It is used where the product passes through different processes to completion. Under this method, the cost of each process is ascertained separately. The output of one process becomes the input of next process. We know process costing is also known as average costing or continuous costing. We apply process costing in case of chemical works, textile mills, oil refinery, sugar industry, etc. We know in case of all these industries, the manufacturing process is divided into distinct processes. The raw materials passes through different processes to become finished products. According to ICMA terminology, process costing is that form of operation costing which applies where standardized goods are produced. I repeat, according to ICMA terminology, process costing is that form of operation costing which applies where standardized goods are produced. Then we discuss about the features of process costing. The first feature of process costing is this: manufacturing operation is divided into different processes and production is continuous. Second feature, the product passes from one process to the next process until it is completed. Then the third feature of process costing is this: products are standardized and homogeneous. And the fourth feature, products are not distinguishable in the processing stage. Then the fifth feature of process costing is this: the finished product of one process becomes the raw material of the subsequent process. And the last feature of process costing is this: cost of material, labor and overheads are collected for each process and charged to each process. Then I explain you process account. On the debit side of our process account, we show different expenses. We start with direct material, then direct labor, direct expenses, overheads. These are the expenses we show on the debit side of our process account, and along with it, if we have abnormal gain, we show that abnormal gain also on the debit side of our process account. Then on the credit side, we firstly show our normal loss, and then if we have abnormal loss, we show that abnormal loss on the credit side of our process account, and then the balance of our process account units and the amount we transfer it to the next process. I think by solving this problem, you will be familiar with how to treat normal loss, then abnormal loss and abnormal gain in our process account. Our question is this: 100 units of material introduced into the process at the rate of rupees 20 per unit. Direct labor rupees 6,000, overhead expenses rupees 5,000. Normal loss is estimated at 10% of the units put into the process. Scrap value of the lost units is rupees 4 per unit. Prepare process account. If the actual output of the process was 900 units in our first case, 850 units second case, and then 920 units our third case. Here our solution is this: in our first case, our output is 900 units. We know we introduced 1000 units. Our normal loss 10%. So normal loss 1000 into 10, that is equal to 100 units. So our normal output is equal to units introduced minus normal loss, that is equal to 1000 minus 100, that is equal to 900 units. Here our actual output is 900 unit and also our normal output is 900 unit. So we have no abnormal gain or loss in our first case. If our actual output is 900 units. Then nextly, what I am going to tell you is about abnormal loss. If our actual output is less than normal output, we have abnormal loss. I repeat, if our actual output is less than normal output, we have abnormal loss. In our second case, our case B, our actual output is only 850 units. So we have abnormal loss in case of B. Normal output minus actual output. Normal output 900 units. We already calculated it. So 900 minus here our actual output 850, that is equal to 50 units. That 50 units is our abnormal loss. Cost of abnormal loss is equal to total cost minus scrap value of normal loss divided by normal output into units of abnormal loss. Here our total cost, we know material cost 20,000 plus, then labor 6,000 plus, overhead 5,000, so that comes to 31,000. Scrap value of normal loss, here 100 units scrap, then value per unit of scrap rupees 4. So scrap value of normal loss is equal to 100 into 4, that is equal to 400. So our cost that comes to 31,000 minus 100, that divided by our normal output, we already calculated it, 900 units, into 50, that is equal to 1,700. That will be the cost of our abnormal loss. If our actual output is more than normal output, we have abnormal gain. I repeat, if our actual output is more than normal output, we have abnormal gain. In our third case, our actual output, we know 920 units. It is more than our normal output, 900 units. So we have abnormal gain in our third case, case C. Our abnormal gain is equal to actual output minus normal output, that is equal to 920 minus 900, that comes to 20 units. So next we find out the cost of abnormal gain. Cost of abnormal gain is equal to total cost minus scrap value of normal loss divided by normal output into units of abnormal gain. Here 31,000 minus 400 divided by 900 into 20, that comes to rupees 680. Then I want to remember you people one thing. Firstly, we find out the per unit cost of our normal output. We know the per unit cost of our normal output 31,000 minus 400 divided by our normal output is 900 units. Then we get rupees 34 per unit. That 34 is actually the rate we apply to find out the value of normal loss and value of abnormal gain. I repeat, the first thing what we wanted to do is to find out the per unit cost of our normal output. That is equal to the per unit cost of normal output is equal to total cost minus scrap value of normal loss divided by normal output. In our case 31,000 minus 400 divided by 900, that comes to rupees 34. In case of abnormal loss or in case of abnormal gain, whatever may be our case, that doesn't matter. The rate we apply in both these cases is this 34. You have to make it clear before solving this problem. Then our solution. Here we are preparing process 1 account based on our first case. In our first case, our actual output is 900 units. Then on the debit side of our process account, direct material 1,000 units we introduced, then amount comes to 20,000, and direct labor 6,000, overhead 5,000. Then on the credit side, we firstly show our normal loss 100 units, then amount 400. Then in this case, our actual output, direct material introduced 1000 units, then normal loss 100 units, then the difference 900 units is our actual output. That output we will transfer to our next process. Then the total of our debit column, that comes to 31,000. Then the actual output, its amount, that comes to 30,600. This 30,600 we will transfer to our second process, process 2. Then our second case, in our second case, our actual output is 850 units. In that case also, we prepare process 1 account. On the debit side, we have direct material 1000 units introduced, the amount 20,000, and direct labor 6,000, and overhead 5,000. Then in that case, firstly we show on the credit side our normal loss. Our normal loss 100 units, then amount scrap value 400 units. Then we show our abnormal loss. We already calculated our abnormal loss. We introduced 1000 units. We got only 850 units as output. So 100 units is normal loss, and the balance 50 units is our abnormal loss. Then the rate we know, we already calculated it. The rate of normal output per unit. Here we apply that rate. So abnormal loss 50 into 34, 1700. Then actual output to the second process 850 units. That 850 into 34, we get this 28,900. Then in our third case, our actual output we know 920 units. 920 units. In that case also we prepare process account. Our direct material 1000 units introduced, the amount 20,000, direct labor 6,000, then overhead 5,000. Then on the credit side, firstly we show our normal loss 100 units, then amount scrap value 400. Then here we got actual output 920 units. 920 units. So we have to write the 920 on the credit side in the quantity column. Then here on the credit side, our unit column total, that comes to 1020. So we write that 1020 on the debit side unit column also 1020. Then we know in this case we have an abnormal gain of 20 units. Its rate, its value we calculated by applying the rate of normal output per unit. We already calculated it, rupees 34. Rupees 34. So abnormal gain 20 into 34, 680. Then actual output, its rate also, the rate of our normal output 920 into 34, we get this 31,280. This is all about our normal loss, abnormal loss, and abnormal gain. I think this session is clear for all of you. We will meet again in our next session. How can we treat work in progress in our process account? Till then, goodbye.